We're going to go over the problems from yesterday's exit ticket, which we had some difficulty with. So we're going to start with the question number 1, which said, write at least 2 different expressions that are equivalent to 8y. Now, most people noticed that we wanted to have a total of 8y, and so they wrote expressions where if they combined the terms, they would have a total of 8y. Some people did things like add y 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one more. Some people chose to break 8y into some groups of 8. So you could have done 6y plus 2y. You could have done 4y plus 4y. Or you could have even used subtraction to show, for example, that if you have 10y and you subtract 2y, you end up with a total of 8y. So this was actually asking us to take 8y and expand it into different expressions that are still equivalent. For question number 2, this was asking for us to write the most simplified expression. So I think we had some difficulty with thinking about what a simplified expression is. 8x minus 4x is not in the simplest form because I can combine these terms. I know an expression is simplified when there's only one term per variable. So if I combine 8x minus 4x, I would end up with a total of 4x. There were a few things that people did where it seems like we were a little bit confused about combining those terms. We want to make sure that we're noticing the operation. We're subtracting 4x, not adding. And then for the final expression, it said to write an equivalent expression for h to the 3rd power. Now, on your exit ticket, you don't have the ability to write an exponent, but we know that an exponent is simply asking us to multiply the base number by itself a certain number of times. So h to the 3rd power shows that h is the base number, and we're multiplying it by itself 3 times. So this would have been the correct answer for question 3. Our key takeaways are that we want to make sure we're noticing whether we need to be simplifying and combining expressions or expanding. So as you go into today's lesson, make sure that you're thinking about whether you are simplifying, which means combining terms, or expanding terms. If you're simplifying, you should end up with only one term per variable. And if you're expanding, you can break up a term into more than one terms. For example, we broke up 8y into multiple terms. So let's keep that in mind as we jump into today's lesson, and hopefully we'll show excellent growth.